When Thomas Green purchased a cluster of rental homes in a quiet suburban neighborhood, he intended it as a long-term investment. The properties came with steady tenants, tidy lawns, and a reputation for stability. What Thomas didn't anticipate was the force of the local HOA, or rather, one board member in particular, notorious among residents as the HOA Karen. The first encounter happened just days after Thomas stopped by one of his newly acquired houses to check on maintenance. Karen stormed across the street, clipboard in hand, demanding to know why he had parked his truck illegally in front of the mailbox. Thomas explained politely that he was the new property owner and wasn't part of their HOA. Karen's expression hardened. "Everyone in this neighborhood is under the HOA," she snapped. "Not me," Thomas replied calmly. "I own these homes. Outright, and they're outside your association's deed restrictions?" The answer wasn't enough. Within an hour, Karen had called the police, claiming a non-compliant resident was refusing HOA authority. When the officer arrived, Thomas presented his paperwork showing his exemption. The officer shook his head at Karen and left, muttering about wasting resources. For Thomas, the situation might have ended there, but Karen's behavior didn't. Stop. Fines appeared in his tenants' mailboxes. Threatening letters followed, insisting they were in violation of HOA landscaping rules. Karen even knocked on doors, telling his renters their leases were invalid. What she didn't realize was that Thomas wasn't just a property owner. He had recently purchased the development's underlying land rights, including the very lot on which Karen's home sat. Legally speaking, while she was busy policing the community, Thomas had become her landlord. The turning point came when Karen showed up at another tenant's house, clipboard in hand, only to find Thomas waiting on the porch. "Karen," he said, evenly, "you've been fining people who don't answer to you. Worse, you've been harassing my tenants." "That ends today," scoffed. "Your tenants, please. They're under my HOA rules." Thomas handed her a folder. "Actually, they're under my leases, including you." Her eyes darted across the documents: property records, ownership transfers, and lease agreements. Her face drained of color when she saw her own address listed. "You see," Thomas continued, "I'm not in your HOA, but you, Karen, you're in my neighborhood." From that moment on, the harassment ceased. Karen still lived across the street, but the clipboard was gone, the threat silenced. Word spread quickly, and the neighborhood took on a lighter mood. Free from petty fines and intimidation, Thomas hadn't just defended himself. He had shifted the balance of power entirely. And this time, the HOA Karen